Welcome back, guys. The last lecture we have discussed about the thermodynamic system and its types. So this lecture we are going to discuss about the thermodynamic equilibrium. So thermodynamic equilibrium is again we can expect a 2 mark from this topic. So we'll move on to that. So this is thermodynamic equilibrium. So normally what is equilibrium? Equilibrium is something which is in ideal. There is no change of state from one state to other. So that we call that as equilibrium. So in case, similarly, what is thermodynamic equilibrium? Thermodynamic equilibrium is it should satisfy 3 equilibrium, and I will add one more point on it. This is 4 equilibrium, but here it is listed 3. If you write these 3 is okay, but once I finish these 3, I will tell you the one more equilibrium. So thermodynamic equilibrium, if any system should be in thermodynamic equilibrium, has to satisfy these 3 conditions. What is that is, it should be mechanically equilibrium, it should be thermally in equilibrium state, and the system should be in chemical equilibrium. So what is mechanical equilibrium? Mechanical equilibrium is this: there should not be any unbalanced force or any forces, any unbalanced force should be acting on it, on system. Then it will only be in mechanical equilibrium. Also, what is thermal equilibrium? Thermal equilibrium is there is no temperature difference throughout the system. Thing is, if water is kept in a gas stove, when we switch on the gas stove, then due to the heat energy which is giving from the bottom, the water temperature will rise. Then that system is not in thermal equilibrium. And also when we heat the water up to the, high temperature water is kept to the atmosphere, that high temperature water will lose heat to the atmosphere, so that the temperature, that's again the system is not in thermal equilibrium. Once after certain long period of time, the temperature of the water will be equal to the temperature of the atmosphere, releasing the maximum amount of heat. In that time is called the thermal equilibrium state. And chemical equilibrium is there should be no chemical reaction taking place, and also the chemical composition should be equal with time to time. That is called chemical equilibrium. So once these 3 equilibriums are satisfied, then we call that as thermodynamic equilibrium. And now I tell you the one more condition that can be better to achieve a thermodynamic equilibrium is phase equilibrium. When we kept an ice with water, then the ice will melt when it is exposed to water. So then that is not phase equilibrium. So whenever this 4 equilibrium is attained, then the system can be treated as thermodynamic equilibrium. So first one is mechanical equilibrium, thermal equilibrium, third is chemical equilibrium, and fourth one is phase equilibrium. These are the case. So there should be no sum of force acting. So sum of force should be equal to 0. So that says that there is no unbalanced force, and the temperature of the system should be equal. It is not getting heat or it should not be losing heat. So this 50-50, if there is no same temperature, then there is no energy transfer. So that is in thermal equilibrium. And also in chemical equilibrium, so the molecules are, molecules on this side is larger, and same species of molecules is lesser here. When it is opened, uniformly distributed all the places of system, then now it is chemical equilibrium. So whenever system achieves these 3 equilibrium, we call that as thermodynamic equilibrium. But from my side, I'll add one more thing, that is called phase equilibrium. If you want, you can take that. Otherwise, you can simply write these 3 types of equilibrium in thermodynamic equilibrium. Thank you, guys.